Yo, what's up, you guys? Greg here. I want to talk about in this video why therapists are broke. I'm not just talking about physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, rec therapists, behavioral therapists. They're all broke. And I feel like this is important because there are so many publications that are telling people that, hey, these jobs are going to be so in demand and this, that, da, 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 da. And people are still flocking to these industries when the reality is that it's not the way it used to be. So let's talk about that in the video. I think it's a couple different reasons on why that's the case. And I'm hoping that physical therapy students, occupational therapy students, people considering getting into field see this video. And if you have seen this video, go ahead and comment below and let me know what you think after watching this video in its entirety. So I think the first thing is that I believe the middle class dream is no longer even existent, at least in the United States it isn't. I've been a physical therapist since December 26th of 2000. And when I became a physical therapist, I was able to achieve the middle class dream, okay? By May of 2003, I owned my first home. By the way, just to give you guys some context, my first job as a physical therapist, I made $39,000 a year, okay? When I got my first job, I was able to afford my first apartment. My apartment was $742 a month, okay? And so it was less than 30% of my income. It was about 25% of my income, or maybe even a little bit less than that, okay? And so it allowed me to be able to move towards paying off my loans. Now, I didn't have massive loans like what it is today, but look, man, I was pretty much debt-free going into owning a house, which I was able to do by May of 2003. May of 2003, you guys, I was able to buy my first home with my wife. $180,000 is what I paid for that home. My mortgage was a 30-year conventional, and my mortgage was $1,200. I think about 4 years later, I refinanced it to a 15-year mortgage, and my 15-year mortgage was just under $1,600. Now, I was making at that time $60-something thousand a year, okay? Which is a good salary towards what my house was. I got that house in 2003. By 2012, I was able to sell the house for $250,000. You guys, that is the middle class dream, home ownership, okay? Buy a house for $100,000, $150,000, $180,000, $200,000, stay in that house, build equity, eventually sell the house. You take the equity, you take the profits that you made from that house, you're able to roll into another home, use your 1031, you're not having to pay taxes on that, and keep on doing that. I went from a $180,000 home, sold it for $250,000, went into a home for $350,000, $350,000, sold it for $475,000, got a house for $510,000, $510,000 to $685,000, okay? And then I started getting the bigger boy houses, okay? But my point is that as a middle-class person, okay, I understand I don't like the pension thing, like it's not necessarily around, but between 401k and between home ownership, you had a chance of truly retiring by the time you're 70. Okay, maybe not 65, but 70, just through home ownership and asset accumulation through traditional home ownership. I'm not talking about owning all this property. I'm not talking about owning vacation rental. I'm not talking about any of that. Just talking about home ownership. You can't do that today. You can't do that today. I mean, first of all, you can't do that because the salaries haven't gone up that much. Okay, maybe you're making 75K, 80K, but you're coming out with a student loan bill that is the same as what my first house bill was. I have clients that have student loan bills of $1,200, $1,300, $1,500 a month. If you have a student loan bill like that, go ahead and comment below. You guys, man, it's totally different. It's totally different than it was before. And I don't think the opportunities are available for home ownership the way that it was before. And then even if you want to get a home, there are so many people that are making so much bank that investors are just cleaning up. And so now you're not fighting against the other first-time home buyer. You're now fighting against the investor that basically can come to the table with straight cash. 14-day close. And you over here got to get a loan, which it might not go through. Nah, man, it's really, really difficult to be able to have traditional home ownership like what it was before. And most therapy gigs are compensated in a way that's going to be middle class levels. That's it. And so it's making it a lot more difficult. I think number two is this, and I think this is more for healthcare professionals. I think most healthcare professionals are so anti-systems because most healthcare professionals think that systems equal cookie cutter, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not a cookie cutter therapist. Okay, I'm not a cookie cutter this. So you know what? You work with me, you're gonna get customized this, you're gonna get customized that, you're gonna get customized this, you're gonna get customized that. And the reality is that that's cool, that's cute and all, but the reality is that customized doesn't allow for scale. The majority of the money that a lot of my clients are making right now is through online. And online means that you are selling systems. Even for me, when I had my clinics, when I was just Greg Custom, that's when I was really burning out when I got sick. Okay. It was when I said, yo, I'm going to start creating systems. I'm sick of saying the same thing over and over and over again. I'm going to create systems so I can hire more people and I don't have to worry if this person leaves, this person goes. I can just plug somebody into the next system and then we can pick up where we left off. That's when I started to make the bag. That's when I started to be able to get my time back. It's through systems. And most therapists are so anti-systems because it means that you're not of good quality or whatever that means, okay? Any business that is doing well is very systems-based, okay? You can't sell just yourself. That's very, very capped and that's limited, okay? When I first started being a therapist and I was seeing 25 patients a day, I was able to do that. You want to know why? Because I was 23 years old, okay? I can't do that today. I'm old, man. Okay, so that ain't gonna work for me today. And today I'm able to make a lot more money than I used to make, even though I don't work as hard. It's because I have systems. I sell the systems. Okay, whether the systems are at my clinics, systems are in my businesses, people buy the systems from me. It's all about systems. And most therapists are very system adverse. They feel like systems is not in line with their title. It's not in line with their brand. And that makes it very, very difficult to get out of the trading time for money trap. And now you're not getting increased pay with regards to third-party insurance. People are having a harder time being able to pay money, even if you're doing cash out of pocket. So guess what? You just sold yourself and it's not going up in line with what inflation is happening. Got it? And then I think the third thing on why therapists, at least from what I see for the foreseeable future, are going to stay broke is because we're not working in the current eras of how people are making big time money. When I think of my physical therapy school, I guarantee you that I went to school from 1997 to 2000, right? I don't think the schools are that much different today. I think they're probably still teaching manual muscle testing, probably still teaching on goniometric measurements, probably still teaching on electric stimulation, probably still teaching ultrasound, maybe a little bit of diathermy, this, that, da. I think for the most part, what I learned between 1997 and 2000 is what people are learning in 2025. And I think that what I learned between 1997 and 2000 is what most people learned between 1980 and 1983. And I think what most people learned between 1980 and 1983 is what most people were learning between 1968 and 1971. I don't think it's changed that much. And it's because most allied health programs were created in the 60s and the 70s. And so the way that they are showing the students on how to create value in the marketplace is in the same way that they're showing students now. And that's not the current era of wealth that we're living in. Right now, we are living in a technological era. We're living in an era where information is being displayed and portrayed online. We're living in an era where a lot of people are making their money through partnerships, meaning that I know a group of people, you got a certain level of skills, I'll introduce my people to you, you give me some of your bag, I'll get some of your bag. Cool, that's how we do it, right? And if you think about Amazon, you think about Apple, you think about Google Play, all of these are partnerships, right? They didn't create every app, they don't have to, but they got the platform, the other people got the talent, and let's just share, right? That's how most people are making their money, right? They're making their money through partnerships with social media platforms like YouTube, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's how they're making their money. But we didn't learn that in school, so most people aren't making their money that way. Today, a lot of people are making. I think the new wealth is in AI, and I don't see most therapists doing any AI stuff that's truly allowing them to scale themselves. So we're working in old ways. And if we continue to do those three things, no home ownership, so there's no way to be able to have anything that's working for you except for you physically doing the work. We're system adverse, and we're not working in one of the current eras of wealth. Well, what do we expect? Guys, I would love to hear your opinions, your comments on it, but I truly think that the traditional therapist is dead. And I think that a traditional therapist is going to continue to struggle. I think that only if you're working in higher levels of care and of value delivery will you be able to make it as a therapist today. So anyways, I would love to hear what you guys think and what you have to say about this. And I'll see you on the next video.